Sagittarius 5, an old owl up a tree. An owl is nocturnal. It lives in the darkness. It can see in the darkness. It can see to catch its prey in the darkness. So it can see pretty well. When there's nothing around that other people can see, the owl can see. And because of this, it has become a symbol of wisdom. Within each of us, there's the same principle. We can each of us see in the darkness, and we can each of us access wisdom. And the principle of Sagittarius 5 is to help us find that and to give us a clue how to find that. How can we see what other people cannot see? How can we be wise? How can we be untouched by the lies and the glare of glamour in society? And the answer lies in stillness, in listening. Often you see an owl perched on a branch, doing nothing, apparently. But it's listening. It's listening for what it needs to hear. In this case, the source of food. And the image of wisdom is associated with listening. It is suggested that the more developed you are in the level of wisdom, the less you want to speak about it. Almost as though wisdom itself cannot be presented in words. It can be presented in the approach to how you communicate, your tone and your attitude, but it cannot be presented by the content, the particular words, because these are always misunderstood. Nobody really is free from the risk that we all have, which Paul Simon phrased as a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. We do. If somebody says something to us that we don't want to hear, then actually in the end we forget it. We hear it on one level, the words register in our ears, but it didn't go further in. We don't really hear it. And so the owl is the image of a person whose hearing is exemplary. They notice what is said. They notice what is not said. They notice the tone of voice used, the level of irony, the level of excitement and enthusiasm. They notice all of the subtle messages within a communication. And if you think that through to the opposite example of somebody, let's say, had a couple of drinks loud at a party or in a pub, and they're just having a good time, and there's somebody else in the corner just quietly sipping some orange juice, just not speaking very much, just noticing all that's happening. At the end, let's say tomorrow you ask, well, what happened last night? Which of those two people are you going to ask? The quiet one or the loud one? You're going to ask the quiet one. You're going to ask the witness what happened last night. Because the loud one doesn't really know. All they know is that they had a good time, but they have no real idea of what was going on around them. They may well have been offensive. They may well have missed a dramatic event that the quiet one did not miss. So here we have the image of how to notice the reality in which you live. You have to be quiet. You have to turn within. You have to sit quietly in meditation if you actually want to know the circumstances of your life. That's food for thought, isn't it? You don't really know, we don't really know what's going on in our lives unless we sit quietly and reflect upon that. This is the image of the owl up in the tree. It's up in the tree above it all. It's sitting. It's quiet. And in the darkness it can see. So in the darkness, which is the metaphor in this case for the confusion and the deception and the secrets and the nastiness of life, some people can see that. They notice it and sit quietly, even though they see the darkness in the world. They still keep their own counsel. These are the owls. This is wisdom. Other people can see the nastiness and have violent demonstrations about it and get all loud and so on, but that's important in its way, but it's not wisdom. Wisdom takes the long term into account, looks at the whole trajectory of what's going on, looks at the causes, the effects, the likely future, who's involved. And this is true in your life too. It is certain that your life is somewhat in need of correction. It is certain because you're still alive and none of us is perfect. If you want to really know what to do next, then just quietly listen to your own intuition, like the owl.